Hi, welcome back to Takacs McGinnis Elder Law Hour. I'm Barbara McGinnis. We explore the many issues related to aging, disability, and unexpected illness. In today's episode, we're particularly talking about aging in place and services that help seniors stay at home longer safely.
Yeah, and I'm your co-host, Tim Takacs, and today we're talking about driving or finding transportation for seniors who can't get to the doctor. And so with us today is Dr. Bruce Wallstedt, founder of BlueSky HouseCalls. And so you're here to speak to us about your mobile medical practice, right?
Right.
So glad you're here. So how do you get signed up for HouseCalls?
Just give us a call.
Give you a call?
Yeah, simple. I imagine you'll be showing contact information.
Yeah, we'll have your contact information up.
We have a website and an email, but the best way is just to call us and see if it's sensible for us to
pick up the phone and call, and
Absolutely.
you know, and if they need Dr. Wallstedt to come out, you'll be out in what, 10 minutes or?
On average, 8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes. Okay. No waiting list or anything. So
no waiting list. Usually, we need at least 48 hours to process your information, get your information into us. Unless it's really urgent, a week is probably reasonable to keep in mind.
Okay, so this is not somebody that is not a service they're going to call if they're really sick and they need immediate care. They're still using urgent care for that or emergency room care. This is
no.
Really?
We started this whole practice much like y'all are advocates for a potentially vulnerable population, and so we want to avoid ER visits, we want to avoid hospitalizations, we want to avoid urgent care visits, but the first visit we do need to get you established. Once you're established, then we really try to manage things in a way to help you avoid a difficult system to navigate these days. If we can't take care of it immediately through a visit, we'll find some way to see you virtually, or we'll find a way to get processes started. We are a little more academic in regards to trying to keep you out of the hospital than academic regarding I have to know certain things before I can help. So knowing you're susceptible to hospitalizations, infection is very important. So if you have the right symptoms, we're going to listen to you over the phone. We're going to get your antibiotics started. We're going to do what we think is appropriate. And then we might not be there today, but it would be tomorrow or the next day. So
it sounds like the ideal patient maybe is somebody, maybe a senior who has difficulty getting out. So they call you and say, doctor, I want to establish a relationship. You take some information, you visit maybe in 48 hours or 72 hours or whatever, and you kind of get started with the patient that way. I mean, I think about like on our practice, our representations go much better if we get people before they're in the nursing home.
That's the whole goal for us, is to keep you from those difficult situations and crisis. So absolutely, our goal is to take care of you, anticipate your needs, because as we all know, hindsight is usually not the best time to take care of things.
Do you make all the visits yourself?
No. I used to be Dr. Wallstedt and Associates, and it was pretty much me. But as we've grown, it had to become scalable. So I have the home visits are made by physicians or nurse practitioners or physician assistants. And we changed our name to BlueSky HouseCalls way back then, because that's an old Allman Brothers song that was my song for my wife. So
okay.
She's my blue sky.
So now obviously our viewers are going to be thinking, well, that sounds great, doctor, but is Medicare going to pay for this?
Yeah, they actually do. Medicare, we bill Medicare. They have various levels of charges. So if you really aren't homebound, we have to bill it like it's an office visit. If you're homebound or it's really difficult for you to get out, it's a taxing effort, then there's a home visit charge that Medicare pays for. And then if you're in some sort of facility, a group home or a assisted living facility, there's another type of visit code for domiciliary visits. So yeah, we bill those.
Okay. Do you have to bill extra for travel?
It depends. We do not bill for anybody that's in an assisted living facility or an independent living facility. For home visits, there is just a basically house calls fee to help cover the travel.
Okay.
So
Does the patient, is that out of pocket for the patient?
That's out of pocket. Medicare will not cover that.
Do you mind telling us what that is? Or I realize it probably varies, but
it does vary, and we have sliding scales based on
distance.
Based on your ability to pay sometimes.
Okay, good.
But $200 is the general fee.
Okay. That sounds reasonable. I mean, when I think about how hard it can get to the doctor.
Well, if you have to call an ambulance, that's $600.
Yes.
One way.
Right.
So I think it's a good deal.
Right. Or if you're dependent on your children to take you and your children have to take off work, they're missing
work.
You know, a lot of people, once they use us, love us. And that's
what we say too.
And those are kind of the things about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce, we're helping you out here. We're promoting you here.
Yeah.
We're trying to help everybody realize it's really a good deal.
It really is. So people once they use us, they go, wow, I don't have to sit in a waiting room around a bunch of sick other people. Oh, I didn't have to park a half mile away. Right. Oh, I didn't have to take an Uber from the parking lot just to get near the door.
Right.
I took my wife in for a service the other day, and it's confusing to remember which floor I parked on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to navigate the medical system at times. So we help just
very much so. Yeah,
we just eliminate.
So do you carry like a black bag that
Absolutely.
Has, and it has like where you can draw blood? Do you have like a little X-ray machine in it or whatever?
So I don't. I have a complete kit. I can put in. I can change your peg tube out. I can change out your tracheostomy tube. I do minor procedures, dermatological procedures, all kinds of things. But generally, we use systems that will come in and do EKGs or labs or X-rays or ultrasounds.
Those are mobile too?
Mobile. If it doesn't require a great big machine, we can get it done. We can get stress tests done. We can get pulmonary function tests done. It is absolutely amazing what we can get done in this day and time.
But the only thing you can't do is like unfold a big MRI machine or whatever, or can you do those?
Well, I've designed an MRI in the cloud. It'll just drop down. I'm just
okay.
Right. We were really starting to believe that.
No, really, the big machines are things we can't get done, and that's really the limit of it. Yeah. And if it requires surgical procedure, anesthesia, things like that.
Sure.
But we're basically like bringing the doctor's office to you. We say, when people say, "Where's your practice?" I say, "Right here in your living room."
Sure, because a primary care doctor, you can't do MRIs either. So we all know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So how big's your service area?
We are in the greater Nashville area, kind of Hendersonville down to Spring Hill and Lebanon over towards Ashland City. So we cover it all.
So we got just like just a few seconds.
Sure.
So there's some people they don't need to stay at home. Do you help people with those issues? Or?
Yeah, what comes to mind is the old Kenny Rogers Gambler song. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. And so, when you're really finding it hard to navigate every activities of daily living, you probably should have a little foresight and start looking for alternatives.
Right. Okay, so we're going to put your contact information up, Dr. Wallstedt. So thanks for being here.
So that's how you find Blue Sky House Calls. BlueSkyHouseCalls.com is one way to get you. Thank you for being here today, Dr. Wallstedt. And if if you don't have a doctor or you don't live in an area where a doctor can come see you, what are your alternatives? When we come back, we're going to talk about telemedicine.